Thanks for joining us here on News Channel 25 WVTT. I'm Alexa Olson. This is Twin Tiers Evening News. Jeff Angelonis is off tonight. Our big story here on Twin Tiers Evening News. More surprises at last night's meeting of the Port Allegany School Board. Port Allegany School Superintendent Tony Flint announced his resignation effective August 30th, surprising many in the audience. Flint's resignation after 38 years as a teacher, principal, and superintendent comes on the heels of several issues involving social studies teacher Bob Haskins. Haskins is accused of masturbating while driving his car down Interstate 80 in Mercer County and is also the teacher who was reprimanded in connection with a video about prohibition that was made by several Port Allegany students. Haskins gave the students a 100, but the grade was dropped because certain administrators took issue with the bleeped profanity in the video. New developments in the trial of Anthony Taglinetti, the man charged in the death of a Clymer school superintendent. After yesterday's court hearing, the judge ruled the jury selection for his trial will begin in September. A judge says Taglianetti's trial will begin September 17th. Taglianetti is accused of shooting and killing Superintendent Keith Reed Jr. Police say Taglianetti drove to Clymer last fall when he found out his estranged wife was in a relationship with Reed. And to Reeds of another kind, Representative Tom Reed, no relation, spoke with WVTT today about the comprehensive immigration debate that's hitting the House. He says there is significant movement going on, especially in regards to the agriculture program.
As many of you know, the H-2A program is essentially the guest worker statute provisions that allow for our agricultural industry pursuits to tap into foreign labor when there's a need in the agricultural community for the farmers that they can rely on those foreign workers. The problem that we have faced with H-2A, in my personal opinion, is that it's a system that doesn't work and that it's in need of tremendous reform.
If you're paying more to keep your car running, you're not alone. The cost of car repairs are going up, according to a website called CarMe. Auto repair costs were up 10% in the year 2012, the biggest jump in about 6 years. One of the reasons for the increase is our cars are getting older. The average car is more than 11 years old. Last year's record heat may also be a factor in driving up auto repair costs. Well, a bunch of thefts from cars in Cattaraugus County. Cat County Sheriff's Office is investigating those incidents in Forestville. They say that the incidents happened around April 2nd and April 3rd. Some of the stolen items have been recovered, but they ask that anyone who may have a vehicle break-in report it to their office. They can be reached at 363-4232. And some other break-ins, these happening in Wellsville. 3 women appeared in court today accused of shoplifting from 3 North Main Street stores in Wellsville. Officials say they left with around $700 in merchandise. Police arrested 21-year-old Vanette Fisher from the Bronx and 22-year-old Tyla Allison from Rochester and charged them each with 3 counts of petty larceny. A third woman's name has not yet been disclosed by police. The women were caught because store owners say that after they made a shoplifting run, they came back for more, at which point the store owner called police and they were arrested. Ash falling like snow and 20-foot-high flames licking the sky in Niagara County as a swamp on the Tuscarora Indian Reservation burns. Firefighters are watching and waiting, and that's about all they can do. Officials say that the fire may have been started by a spark from a downed power wire. Officials say they're watching the fire, but the area is too marshy to bring the equipment close enough to fight it. There was a massive overnight fire at a 2-family home in Buffalo's Lovejoy neighborhood, according to Buffalo media outlets. The fire caused extensive damage to the home that houses a family of 7. No one was injured in the blaze, but the home has to be demolished because of the amount of damage. Bridge reconstruction will begin this week on Route 280, bridge over Interstate 86 in the town of Cold Springs off Exit 18, according to New York State Department of Transportation announced earlier today. Reconstruction will begin Thursday, April 11th, redirecting all westbound traffic on I-86. Reconstruction is expected to be in place for about 7 weeks. Well, the 19-foot fishing boat of 3 Allegheny men capsized Saturday about 4 miles from the mouth of the Niagara River. U.S. and Canadian Coast Guard crews rescued the 61-year-old and 2 51-year-old men from 37-degree water. The men huddled on the overturned vessel as rescuers arrived about 45 minutes later after they called 911. Their boat later sank, and it has not yet been recovered. A St. Bonaventure University junior is honored again for her efforts to promote teen volunteerism. This time, Glamour magazine has named Simone Bernstein one of the top 10 college women in its May issue, which hits newsstands today. Bernstein was honored at a New York City awards ceremony last week. She helped thousands of young people around the country find local community service opportunities through her website. The Cuba Village Board passed a $780,965 budget last night. It's about $4,000 less than last year, but it comes with a slightly higher tax rate. It is expected to levy about $618,000 in real property taxes as a proposed rate of $14.25 per $1,000 of assessed property value. That's up 5 cents per $1,000 from last year's budget. Some items with increase include mandatory raises in retirement and workers' compensation rates and maintenance and repair lines for village entities. And the Genesis house is closed this week after a fire on Sunday afternoon. A roofer's blowtorch ignited the fire that started at the insulation around a second-story window. Firefighters on the scene extinguished the fire and used a thermal imaging camera to see if damage had extended to the attic and exterior walls. The roofers repaired the damage and there were no injuries reported. The homeless shelter is expected to remain closed until cleanup is finished next week. And an Elma, New York man is in jail accused of a shocking discipline method. Police say he forced a 15-year-old girl to keep her hands in a bowl of bleach, which caused third-degree burns. 45-year-old Gary Matthews was arrested and charged with assault and child endangerment. The child was taken to Women and Children's Hospital in Buffalo for treatment. We have much more coming your way. This is News Channel 25 WVTT.